I visited a house owned by one of the wealthiest people in the world. So my partner and I perform a unique entertainment act, and we can be hired to perform anywhere in the US or Canada. For this particular show, I performed at the home of one of the wealthiest men in the world. I didn't sign a non-disclosure or anything, but it feels like it would be unprofessional to post exactly who it was and then have others in my industry find out. This guy is the CEO of one of the biggest companies in the world. Think of when you hear these 3 companies are behind every biggest brand, etc. Yeah, it's one of those. So in late October 2022, we received word that they wanted to hire our show for Thanksgiving Day. I confirmed availability and then waited for confirmation on their end that we were booked. Long story short, I made several contact attempts and it was looking like we'd been ghosted. All right, whatever, it happens. Come Sunday before Thanksgiving, we reached out and let them know we would not be able to attend the event because, at that point, it was too short notice. Come Tuesday before Thanksgiving, I suddenly heard from them. They want our show. Badly. They're willing to pay quadruple. They're willing to send a private jet. The drive was 12 hours, and at this point, I needed to leave the next morning. We ended up negotiating a ridiculously high price for the show since it was so last minute, which honestly, that was pretty cool. I'm not sure if I'll ever make that much money in a day ever again, LOL. So with the event confirmed, we headed out the next day and drove all day and through the night to arrive on time. After 12+ hours of driving and being totally exhausted, we finally got there with about 30 minutes to spare. Upon arrival, we pulled up to a gate and the security guard had us wait for an identity confirmation before we entered the property. While we waited, we chatted with him a bit. He informed us that this home is actually just this individual's Thanksgiving residence. They show up for 1 week per year, and that's it. I couldn't believe it. Plagued with curiosity, I had to know how much this place was worth. I looked up the address online, and the property valuation ranged from $42 million to $57 million. Just for a Thanksgiving house. The security guard also informed us that the property's staff works year-round. So the gardeners, kitchen staff, cleaners, etc. work to keep the property maintained all year. They even have a staff of painters that work every Tuesday and Thursday, 8 hours a day, all year long. I can't imagine why so much needs painting, but okay. So we're finally granted access to the property, and it's just stunning. Beautiful gardens, huge house, several other buildings as well, all of it meticulously designed and maintained. We were informed by the house manager that the schedule of the day was going to be very strict, and it was of utmost importance to have our show ready to begin at exactly 1:30. So we busted our butts unloading and setting up as fast as possible. We finished at maybe 1:28 with just enough time to grab a little water. We were then informed that the guests were running late, and most hadn't even arrived yet. By 3 o'clock, the guests were finally seated for our show. We did our thing. The guests were great sports. We were then directed to the servant quarters where a Thanksgiving dinner was awaiting us. I was surprised by that. It was nicer than expected. My observations were mixed. First, their consideration for our time and schedule was really poor. We worked really hard to fit their rules, and it was frustrating to know we could have been so much more relaxed with how late people were. Second, there's a clear class difference in situations like this. They didn't want our vehicle visible to the guests, not a nice enough vehicle. As I walked around the property to prepare our show, it was clear that we were the help, and they are not. We did not speak much to the hosts or the guests. I got a speak when spoken to vibe from basically everyone. Third, rich people seem to be treated as though they are wise and responsible with money, but that was not my experience at all. I heard countless stories of frivolous spending, ridiculous circumstances, and expensive requests. Fourth, even rich people can be kind, though. The hosts and guests were very kind to us and made it clear they loved and appreciated our show. The house manager did a good job of ensuring we were stocked with snacks and water, too. After finishing up with the show and packing up, I began researching these people, their jobs, net worth, political influences, etc., and I was pretty horrified. Even the fact that I had to negotiate the pay irked me, considering they could have paid off my house and all my debt, and it wouldn't have made a difference to their lives at all. My entire life has been an uphill climb just to stay afloat. Sometimes I wish they could understand the struggle I've endured. A girl says I got her pregnant. I'm gay. I am a 19-year-old man currently living with my well-off parents who handle nearly all of my expenses, including my college fees. My parents are openly homophobic. My best friend, whom I'll call Kira, and I have been friends since grade school. Kira loves to party. I have a boyfriend, Jamie, who is 20 years old. Jamie, Kira, and I have been dating for about a year. Only the three of us are aware of this relationship. About 7 weeks ago, Jamie hosted a party at his house and invited both Kira and me. We were all drinking, but every drink I had that night was handed to me by Kira. I only had 2 the whole night. At one point, I started feeling dizzy and nauseous. I decided to lie down in Jamie's bed, fully clothed, and fell asleep. This is all I remember from that night. However, this morning, Kira showed up at my parents' house, claiming that I got her pregnant. As she knows about my sexual orientation and my relationship with Jamie, this took me by surprise. When my parents asked for proof, she showed a picture from the party night of us both, naked and laying in Jamie's bed. She then claimed that we've been dating since high school, which left my parents shocked. They believe it's my responsibility to raise the child. Kira then cornered me in the living room, offering me 2 options. Either I accept the twins as mine, or she outs me. She confessed that she got pregnant at a party 6 weeks ago and doesn't know who the real father is. She argued that it would be in my best interest to help my best friend out. Now I'm locked up in my room, deciding whether I should devote my life to children who aren't mine, and a woman I no longer trust to please everyone else, or reveal my relationship with Jamie to my parents, run the risk of being disowned and lose my savings, college tuition, and my place to live. I am in desperate need of advice. What should I do in this messed up situation? I was yelled at for opening a door. A few days ago, I experienced an incident that left me speechless. I'll narrate the story and share some afterthoughts. I was about to enter a local business when I noticed a woman behind me in the glass reflection. Naturally, I opened the door and stepped aside to let the young woman in. She abruptly stopped and told me that she would never let some bigoted male chauvinist assist her in any capacity. I was bewildered. It was just a matter of opening a door, and I hadn't said a word to her prior to this. Seeing my confusion, she asked if my primitive male brain didn't understand what she had said. I told her, I understood. I'm just confused. If you don't want me to hold the door for you, that's all right. Have a nice day. I then proceeded into the store. About 5 minutes into my shopping, an employee approached me saying that I had made another customer uncomfortable. When I asked how, he claimed that I had been aggressive to a female customer in the parking lot and followed her into the store, implying that I needed to leave the premises. I urged him to check the security footage and said I'd gladly wait while a supervisor did so. Approximately 10 minutes later, the store manager offered an apology and a coupon. Here are my afterthoughts. Ladies, I acknowledge your struggle is real. There are indeed men out there who pose a threat, and it's important to remain vigilant. It's truly unfortunate that you cannot enjoy the same basic freedoms as the average man without concern. However, please remember that some of us stand with you. Some of us see our little daughters in each one of you. As a father, I'm terrified. As a man, I'm ashamed that the actions of a few have tarnished the reputation of all men. My friend has been living in the basement at his work for over 5 years. Is he a genius? I'll try to keep this concise, but I'm open to providing more details if needed. With the consent of my friend, I'm sharing this story without revealing too much to protect his anonymity. This tale began 8 years ago when my friend, whom we'll call Bill, assumed the role of a property manager for a commercial and retail office building. The building, although only a few stories high, has approximately 2,000 square feet per floor. Bill's salary is barely enough to cover his living expenses, leaving him with about $500/month in disposable income. During one of our monthly poker nights, Bill informed us that his condo lease would expire in 6 months and expressed his frustration over his strained finances. He proposed an idea and sought our assistance. Knowing that many of us work in skilled trades and some even own contracting businesses, he felt we were the ideal group to help. Bill revealed that the building he managed had a massive, mostly empty basement. His idea was to convert a 2,000 square foot area of it into a livable space. Despite initially thinking the plan was absurd, we agreed to help under certain conditions. Since no commercial tenants worked on Sundays, and only one retail tenant who had no access to the main lobby was open, we decided to work on the project on Sundays. Over the next few months, we spent most of our Sundays transforming the basement space. The result was a beautifully crafted dwelling with an open concept design, apart from the washroom and bedroom. We encountered a few issues during the construction process, but I'm omitting those to keep this story brief. Fast forward to over 5 years later, no one in the building is aware of Bill's living arrangement, not his employer, nor the building owner. There's a lot more to this story that I can share if anyone is interested. For now, thank you for reading and allowing me to share my friend's fascinating story. Thanks for watching today's story. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. We love hearing from you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you won't miss our daily dose of captivating tales. Looking for more stories? Check out the playlist on our channel for a wide variety of tales. Do you have a story of your own that you'd like to share? We'd love to hear it. Head over to our About page and send it to our email, and your story might be featured in our next video. Remember, every story counts, and we can't wait to hear yours. Until next time, keep sharing, keep listening, and keep being awesome.